Hi, in this video, we are going to discuss how you can actually automate your e-commerce store. Now, I understand as a business owner, this is one of the most pain point that I just want to see money keep growing and I don't have to work in a day. Well, obviously that is not possible because that is why we are discussing here. But with the power of automation, you can automate a lot of stuff which you don't have to do it. So in this video, we are going to discuss how automation impacts. We are going to understand why automation is important. I believe you are already aware of what is automation, and then we are going to discuss what are the things you can automate in your particular e-commerce store. Now, I believe you're already aware what is automation. Automation is basically something which happens automatically based on the certain instructions we have given. Now, let's try to understand why we need automation. Now, obviously, a lot of people say automation is important because it helps me save time, it sort of removes the error, but let's try to understand in detail why we need automation. I'll give you a scenario. You're running a store and someone has placed an order for 50 boxes. And your team, I'm not going to name anyone, but they made a mistake and instead of 50, they said 5 boxes. Maybe they had an extra amount of beer, maybe they were not planning to work that day. So you can imagine and you can understand the kind of issues this can create. Now the problem is you as a business lose a lot of potential customer base because of these silly mistakes. Now, if this happens once or twice, that is fine. But if this happens on the regular basis, in that scenario, you are going to run out of business, and that is why we need automation. So we can remove the human dependency, we can remove the human error which happens all the time, and we can actually scale it up quite easily without increasing the headcount. Okay, now we have a lot of clients to whom we have actually helped them automate a lot of stuff. So we will discuss in detail like how those automation have worked for them. So first of all, one kind of an automation is obviously tracking and rewarding the customer. So like, let's say you have regular customers. They are your customers who have spent around $50,000 in your store and they are purchasing stuff from you from last 7 years. This could be a big number, but try to understand. They are actually potentially a very good customer base because they are purchasing a lot of stuff from us and they are our long-term customers. So the problem is obviously it is very difficult for us to track. Now I'm going to mention one thing. One of the client, they had this kind of mistake. They were doing all this stuff manually. The problem was, let's say if someone is their customer from last 8 years, so are they customers whom they should be rewarding? Well, they should be rewarding if their order value is greater than $25,000. An example. Now, running these two conditions can give me whom I should reward and whom I should track. Let's say if someone is purchasing worth $24,000 worth of products. So they are very near. We can actually convert them into $25,000. So we can actually track them if they are on the right track. So this is how you can actually automate a lot of stuff, if I may, especially related to the customers part, because once you realize, okay, these are the customers whom we should benefit, whom we should reward, they are going to bring more customers. Now, this kind of an automation is personally my favorite. Syncing data. Now, these days, what is happening? Let's say a customer is on Instagram. They have placed an order on Instagram. Someone has placed an order on Facebook. Someone has placed an order on your store. Now, obviously, the shipping team is going to be same. They are not going to be different. So this data from Instagram, this data from Facebook, this data from your store needs to reach one single point. Someone has placed order on 6th of June. Someone has placed an order on 7th of June. Someone has placed an order on 6th of June. Now, try to understand. If this data does not reach to the shipping team, obviously shipping team is not going to ship that particular product, and if that is not shipped, obviously the customer will be anxious. What happened? I placed the order. So in that case, what you can do, you can actually automate this process. So let's say if someone has placed an order on Instagram, someone has placed an order on Facebook, or these days, if someone has placed an order on WhatsApp, you can sync this data to a single location and make sure that things are working in seamless fashion so that the data which is supposed to reach to the destination reaches on time. Now, we have seen so many stores actually craving for reviews. Now, the problem is obviously if a customer has bought something, they're done with it. If they like the product, they will probably tell to their friends and family members how this particular product has saved their life or maybe changed their life. There is a very rare possibility of around 5% that they will come to your store and they will give you a review. They may buy the product again, they can refer the people again for your particular product which you have sold, but obviously it will be very difficult for them to review your products if you don't ask them to review. So you can actually create an automation which is going to ask for their review after a certain duration of time. Now, the major problem many people face is, let's say if someone has placed an order and they have received an order 1 day ago. So we have seen so many people sending an email that, hey, please review our product. This is not the right time. Obviously, the window of this kind of an automation should be around 14 days so that the customer has thoroughly used the product and is aware of how it has changed their life. So this is something which you have to automate. Now, obviously, this is not possible for you to do manually because you have to calculate every single day, every single date. There are so many tools which actually help you do this kind of a stuff automatically without lifting a finger. What kind of a product you are selling is not going to matter unless you define what kind of an audience you have. Let's say you are selling clothes, female clothes, let's take an example. So you have to segment the data. What do I mean by segment this data? We can segment the data in following ways: customers who are going to spend 10,000 plus, customers who are going to spend 50,000 plus, customers who are going to spend 1 lakh plus. This could be one kind of a segmentation. Second kind of a segmentation could be customers from 18 to 20, customers from 30 to 40, customers from 35 to 40. Now, what are these? These are buckets. These buckets can be used in our marketing campaign. These buckets can be used in our sort of a discount period. These buckets can be used in any single scenario wherever we are looking to increase our sale. To try to understand, if you can automate this particular part of customer segmentation, this is going to give you a clear understanding what kind of a data you have of your customers. And this actually helps you scale up the sales process. Why? Because you are going to reach out to the right people without wasting your resources on wrong people. Now, when I was discussing about syncing the data, well, this is a kind of automation which is actually quite similar to that. This is inventory management. Now, obviously, if you're a small scale business, if you do not have a huge business, if I talk about right now, if you don't have a huge team, there is a good possibility a lot of products are out of stock right now. Now, if you're making those products, obviously this is something which you have to do. But obviously, if you're sourcing from a manufacturer, in that case, what you can do, you can actually automate this process. So this kind of an email will actually go to your manufacturer automatically that you are running out of this particular product and you need to restock it. So what will happen? This is going to actually help you enhance your process, and this is going to help you actually maintain the perfect inventory so that you don't lose any customers. Now, if I'll ask you what is the most painful event of your life, probably you will say customers not purchasing something. Well, I would say the most painful event in your life would be customers placed an order, they were planning to buy it, it is there in the cart, but now they are no more interested in buying the product. The particular product is sitting in their cart. So you have to understand, this is something which is known as abandoned cart, and this can be automated also. There are a few of our customers whom we have helped. So how we help? We find out how many customers have actually abandoned their cart. What we do, we send them email using like a discount code, reviews of the customers, why customers have recently bought this particular product, or we also share upsell them if I talk about, or we provide a complimentary product with this particular product based on the history of the customer. So try to understand, when someone abandons the cart, we have this kind of information available with us. Now, what we do with this kind of an information is quite important. And obviously, if that customer is a loyal customer to you, you have to understand that these kind of a strategy can actually help you convert that abandoned cart into an actual sell. And there are so many tools available in the market, or I should say in the industry, which actually help you automate this process. Now, this kind of an automation is not going to only help you scale up your sales process, but also going to remind the customers that they are running out of things. I'll give a very simple example. Let's say you sell soap, you sell shampoo, if I may, or you sell something related to, like, let's say pickles, or maybe something which is homemade, or whatever that is, something which we consume on regular basis. So what you can do, let's say if you're selling something which is going to be used within 1 month, as soon as the month is over, you can send them an email or a notification or something which is going to be sent automatically. Hey, we think now you have consumed the particular product. Do you want to refill it? Do you want to purchase it again? Now, the advantage is you don't have to remind them again and again. You don't have to pick up the call and say, hey, Avinash, are you running out of this particular stuff because we want to restock it for you? Do you want a refill or something like that? No. It is going to happen automatically, and you won't believe you're going to increase your sale around 5% with this particular automation, because obviously if you're selling something which has to be refilled, there is a good possibility if a customer has bought something from you, they will buy it again. Now, this kind of an automation is quite important if you're running something which is running at a global scale. So many clients of ours, they say that this is their one of the major pain point and they are not able to keep up with. Well, the problem is there are so many social networks, and obviously you want to keep it up. You want to make sure that the new customers are able to find you and the existing customers are able to see that you are actually doing business. Now, the problem is, obviously, if you're a small team, it is very difficult for you to manage all this stuff which is happening around it. Now, let's say you're running a global store. So obviously in India, you have different set of festivals, if I may. In America, you have different set of festivals. In Spain, you have different set of festivals on different day. Obviously, it is not easy for everyone to understand and realize that, okay, this is what I have to post in Indian time. This is what I have to post in the Spanish time. So what you can do, you can actually automate your social media process as well. What you have to do, you will just pick one single day, and you can automate your next 30 days or 60 days or 90 days worth of content. Or if you're going to hire someone, it is going to be very easy for them to spend their time being creative, creating content for your social network platform, rather than juggling from one platform to another platform to the third platform and just posting stuff at a random time. And if they miss out something, obviously this is going to cost your business. So there are so many tools which are available which can help you with the social media automation. Now, obviously you must be wondering, Avinash, you were saying so many things about the automation. What kind of tools are there? Well, obviously let's try to understand those tools. Now, the first thing, which is not actually a tool, but it is something which we call it as a custom build solution. Now, this is something which is very important because you understand your customer, you understand your product, you understand your store, you understand your geography where you want to sell. Now, if you know this, these custom build solutions are going to actually help you enhance the automation power. You won't believe there are so many tools which are available which are giving a generalized solution, but obviously as a business owner, you understand what is one kind of an automation which I could do, and it is going to make all the difference for me. So obviously, if you're going to go for the automation, one thing which we would suggest, like, go for the custom build solution. And obviously, if you're a bit worried about it, what are the right solutions for you? So obviously you can reach in the link which is given in the description of the video. Someone from our team can actually assist you what kind of a custom solution you should be building. The next tool which we have is, obviously, if you're using Shopify, it is Shopify Flow. It is a drag and drop tool with which there are so many things you can automate. Then we have Zapier, which is obviously quite famous for the automation stuff. And then we have Automate. Now, these are the three tools, if I may, which are quite popular, especially for the e-commerce domain. There are so many things you can automate with these tools in the other domains also. But if I talk about in terms of e-commerce, these are the vital important tool. But obviously nothing beats the custom build solution because this works with you. Okay, so we have discussed what are the various tools with which you can actually automate your e-commerce store. And automation, as I mentioned, is quite important. It not only helps you save money, but it also helps you save time so that you can scale up your e-commerce store. But the major important question is what kind of an automation I should be using. So whatever different kind of automation I have told you, or we have told you, they are used widely. But all the various tools which are available in the industry, 95% of the automation solutions are not going to work for you for a very specific reason. Your store is unique like you. So you should understand what is the right automation you should need, or you should actually be in touch with someone who has the understanding so that they can guide you with the right set of automation, because if they can guide you, obviously this is going to save you something which you were missing out.